I make, before we do this, how do I make this full screen?
Fucker.
How do I make this full screen? I don't want to be distracted.
How do you mean?
What do you mean?
All right, fuck it.
Wait, you don't want to see yourself? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I just like, there's just, I just get lost in my
When
own
in
eyes.
doubt, just look at your camera instead of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like your camera, not your recording of you. Not your face.
You're looking at yourself, I can tell.
I'm right down the
Fucking
lens.
serial killer. I swear to God, this
Well,
guy's
you
a
saw the
serial
smile
killer.
on my face? I'm like, damn.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time you're happy, freaks me out.
Okay, well, I guess you don't know how to
going
full
into
screen, so that's fine. Michelle, should I try restarting?
Of course not.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
Let's have some fun out
Can
here.
I start?
Let's have some fun
Can
out
I do it? Okay. And standing at 5'6" with eyes like an ocean after a storm, my little man from Coquitlam, Tyler Johnston.
I don't know who's 5'6", buddy. You're listing your own height, Bambino. I'm 5'7" and a half,
We're all the same
baby.
height. You know, we're all the same height.
The three of us are very, very, we're like, we have similar
Michelle and I are
body
taller
types.
and Evan's slightly shorter.
Did you just say we have similar body types?
Yes, I did. And I mean it.
I agree.
The same shoulders.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Michelle.
Yeah, same kind of
Hello,
bone
Evan.
structure.
Right.
Tyler, we're so happy you're here. This is so fun.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, my face hurts
I'm very
already.
excited.
I
I can't
know.
believe that episode earlier was fucking wild. Oh my God.
Oh my, Rave is like, I can't wait to get into it because it's so, this first season is really, it's all over the place. There's so much going on and so much formative language.
ILOL.
Yeah.
I had to pause a few times. Are we going to get right into it or what? What do we do?
Well, I mean, we can do whatever we
you
want.
guys
This is
make
our
the rules.
podcast. Oh,
Yeah, this
also,
is our goddamn podcast. What do we want?
everyone listening, welcome to Spare Parts. We've got Tyler Johnston. We're so excited to have him here. He is a dear friend of ours. We have known you for, well, yes, Evan.
Coworker.
I'm okay with that from him.
Colleague.
I'm okay with that from him. Michelle, you speak your truth though, girl.
Okay. Yeah. Dear friend. You played Stewart on the show, obviously, and you're so brilliant. And I'm so glad you're here to go through. Okay, Evan.
Sorry.
Can you mute him? How does this work?
We'll
I'm the
edit him
producer
out.
right now, so
I'm
We're
the
gonna edit
captain
him
now.
out. I'm so glad we have you here for this episode, just because it's such a great Stewart. It's just like
Holy
really, it really
smokes.
showcases your.
I couldn't believe it. The
character
first
choices.
sorry, Michelle. But the first introduction, like my character looks like he hasn't slept in 12 years.
it's crazy.
And you actually can't see. You're so
Yeah,
fucked up.
what's up with that? What do you mean? He's meth blind?
Should we
Is that
go?
a thing?
Should we just like go right into the episode?
Why not?
What,
You're
what,
better.
Yeah.
what do you
Tell
guys
us
want to
about
do?
that.
How's your week
process,
going? How's
Tyler?
everyone doing?
Oh yeah, true.
I signed up for swimming lessons in the new year because I'm going to learn how to swim.
Good for you.
You don't know how to swim?
Thanks, guys. I can survive in the water, but I'm so dense bonally and so little
that's
fat on my
crazy.
body that I can't
What are
float
you
really.
saying?
So I'm just inefficient. No, I'm just inefficient. You've seen me swim. Like we
Yeah, but I haven't seen your dense
I think we've all
bones,
swam
buddy.
together.
Your dense bones
Yeah.
prevent you from swimming.
Definitely seen
That was a.
They just make me sink quicker.
They make
I'm
you
not
sink,
efficient.
okay.
I was never taught the proper technique.
That's the truth.
And so I'm taking a 9. Yeah. So I'm taking a 9-week adult swimming class and then taking 2 other ones after that if I survive the first one.
Good for you.
That's great.
Thanks, guys. Pretty excited.
Wow, because I'm getting an image of you in the water. Our last season when we went to the lake house, and I do now that you mention it.
No.
You were doing a little doggy paddle. I do remember this.
God.
A little panic doggy paddle even.
A panic
Were you like, is
paddle.
Evan okay out there? Oh no.
And you were basically going from dock to floaty, which it was like a 2-meter swim, and it was a panic paddle.
Yeah.
It was
ultimately.
labored. I'm labored out there. I don't really know how to
didn't know that,
scoop the
though.
water or breathe too well. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm a little bit frantic, so that translates to the water as well. I don't think humans should swim. That's my opinion. But since we must, so often, I feel like I should
Right.
learn how.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's a very important skill to have for sure. Especially if
You
you're
guys
going to
grew up
come
on the ocean.
Well, I was going to say, especially if you're going to visit us out west, you're going to have to
You
know
gotta
how
watch
to
out for the
swim.
bears though in the water, buddy. They're swimming everywhere.
They're swimming
I hear
everywhere.
they swim so fast, though.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
you're not out swimming
right?
a bear.
There you go.
But they might not
One
get
more
through your
fear for
dense
me.
bones. If they bite onto you, they might not even get through your dense bones.
Tyler, isn't the thing that, so on Vancouver Island, which is where I live, there are no grizzly bears normally, but now grizzly bears are swimming from the mainland over to Vancouver Island, and they're stopping at all the little Gulf islands along the way. And now North Vancouver Island has grizzly bears for the first time, I think, ever.
To do what?
Hunting. There's like so much deer. I don't know.
To do what? What are they doing over there?
To do. What do you think, Evan?
The bear convention of Northern
Hunting.
Vancouver Island.
They
Foraging.
heard that Vancouver Island was nicer.
Maybe because
Yeah.
the mainland was unbearable.
Oh boy, I really didn't expect it to go here this quickly. But
I mean, you are the king of dad jokes at the end of
We'll
the
grin and
day.
bear it.
So,
Daddy
yeah.
jokes. Okay, so should we talk about something else?
Well, wait, how's your week?
I had a pretty good week. I got like half cut last night. Someone put some alcohol in my margaritas. So
Damn it.
and what else I did this
Again,
week?
hello, Dad.
yeah,
I had a pretty good week. Pretty low key. Had a good group blood donation last weekend. There was 19 people who came out and donated blood. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that for a second and just
sure.
like
So-
whatever you'd like to say?
Yeah. So someone really close to me about a year and a bit ago was diagnosed with leukemia. My mom, Lynn. And I've been using this as an opportunity to raise awareness for the need of blood and platelet donations, because I watched my mom receive some blood transfusions and see the life literally come back in her face. And through this last year and a bit of being educated on blood, because I didn't know anything about it, I was told that less than 2% of the eligible population in Canada currently donates. So it's quite a bad percentage. And I'm just going to try and be part of the solution with that. So I got a bunch of buddies and friends and colleagues. Team Lynn this year has over 90 donations so far. We're hoping to hit 100 by 2025 here, and then just keep it rolling.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's
That's so great.
You learn the importance of these blood products, and they don't last very long. They have to be kept very carefully and refrigerated, and then they expire. So the need for blood is constant, and it's a small thing that I can do to kind of give back. It's not just blood cancers, but there's surgeries and there's operations, and then there's all sorts of need for blood. So that's just kind of my little initiative I've been taking on the last year here because it just close to home.
No, that's so great. Yeah, it's so great. And it's such a good reminder for all of us to donate blood, because it is, I feel like it was talked about a lot growing up, like blood drives and things like that. And then it sort of felt a little weirdly out of sight, out of mind. I don't know if that's why that is, or when that happened, or if it's just my own blind spot. But,
and people get busy.
It's such a good reminder.
And they don't realize how kind of easy it is, right? You stop in, it's like a half an hour procedure, and you probably, don't want to do anything too strenuous afterwards, but, yeah, it's an easy way to give back, and then once you start doing it, you realize that it's just it's something that you can maybe incorporate into your life every 3 to 4 months or whatever the time limits are.
Cool. Yeah, that's
crazy.
great. And Tyler, so for people that want to maybe get involved, can they go into their local blood donation center and then say Team Lynn, and then it gets kind of like, or is that it's just
pretty much. So I mean,
do it for whatever reason.
I don't know how it works in America for blood donations, but obviously I've been working with the Canadian Blood Services up here in Vancouver. And for anyone who is interested in donating or hasn't donated in a while, you can download the app, sign up, and there's a partners button that will take you to this option to join a team. So if you'd like to join Team Lynn, we'd love to have you. And feel free to reach out on Instagram or x.com if you want to talk further.
Cool. That's great, Tyler. Thank you.
Wasn't
for
really planning on starting with that story,
telling
but how are we supposed to? How are we
it's
supposed
great.
to?
No, and
how are we
it's-
supposed to laugh now?
Well, we can
you're allowed to.
because it's donating blood is very positive.
just-
we should all
I'm
be
just
doing
playing.
it.
It's a good
It is
thing.
it's a good thing.
No, it is a great thing. It's cool watching my buddies get out there too, who just like you said, Michelle, hadn't really thought about it, and since they've donated,
Yeah.
they're like, man, that was so easy. I'm coming back every time I get a chance. So yeah.
That's
what I
great.
said.
I love to hear it. Cool. Okay, and then within your week, you also went back to season 1 of Letterkenny. You watched episode 5, Rave. what are your first impressions of this episode, Tyler?
I was blown away. I haven't seen this episode probably since it first came out. But some of the stuff in this episode, it's interesting watching these early episodes and seeing how quickly some of like the iconic Letterkenny quotes and things happened. You know, like even in this episode, Jared, you know, said your spare parts, bud, in this episode, which I thought was...
I squealed.
Well, yeah, I thought that was pretty amazing.
When I heard it.
Yeah.
I was like, should I have taken a video of that?
I stood up and clapped. Yeah. No, it's crazy to look back on. I mean, that's almost 10 years ago now. I saw at the end, it said 2015. And I mean, time is moving, man. We all look like little babies.
No, you don't look a day different. Neither of you look different. I swear.
Except for
actually, now that I have the beard,
probably like just a little like more refined, more chiseled sex.
Yeah, like I'm jacked
exactly
now,
like
but
yeah,
it is so crazy to see. Also, okay, I just have to. And Evan and I have talked about this in a previous episode, but how fucked up the skids look in season 1.
I was shocked when I saw myself. I look like a fucking vampire. And just like, this is the first image of me. My eyes are so red and sunken in, and there's scars everywhere. I actually like that wig. I thought that wig looked kind of badass, but...
Isn't it just cut up garbage bag? Isn't that first wig?
Well,
Okay.
So this episode, just to kind of do a run through, we start with the 2 Hicks going into see Glenn because he has a possum problem. And this, I totally forgot about this possum thing that runs throughout it's kind of
it's such a weird B-plot. The possum is like...
and just wheeling, Jared's just wheeling around the carriers all episode.
Shenanigans. He's going to like release it into the rave by the end is what the feeling is. Like, this is shenanigans for the Hicks. Like, I don't really...
Totally. And even just the
them
sabotage of the rave in general. My memory of this episode is just people don't show up to the rave because they don't want to.
My
and
friend
then that's sad. But
sabotaged
there's
me.
like, you got sabotaged,
Yeah, I got
from all angles.
because they want me... Misery loves company. And if they're in the basement doing drugs, then I'm in the basement.
They want you there too.
Stewart is in the basement doing drugs.
Yeah, wait. We got to make some hard lines here. I didn't sabotage the party,
you did,
okay?
buddy.
Rolled did.
I love how Jacob just steps out, just brings the sex appeal immediately.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, he's quite sexual in this.
Like, we see more of his legs in this episode than yours, Michelle.
Totally. And I also his high socks look like he's wearing like a high leather boot, and he's swanging his hips. It's so
He took off his
wild.
undies at one point too. I think
he
there was
did.
almost some male nudity there for a minute.
Which is cool.
Totally cool.
Which is cool.
It's totally cool. I was thinking
Which is
the same
pretty
thing.
cool.
Like,
It's
I think it was
totally
a pretty
cool.
erotic episode overall. Like, not
Yeah.
to, but you,
No, yeah.
like, this was the beginning of Stewart's eroticism as well. Like, you looking at yourself in the mirror, being like, "You fucking got this." Like and you're like kissing yourself. Like, there's some sexuality in this episode that I did not anticipate for sure.
Yeah, this is, I think, the first time we really see you kind of making some big choices for Stewart.
Yeah.
So like when you read this episode and when you had to make out with the mirror, put on the, like, did you, even just like your inflections of voice with Stewart, was that just something that kind of like, did you establish that in the audition, or did that sort of start to come into place more so? Like, how prepped were you?
It came in more so when we got to Sudbury, and I met the rest of the skids, and we got into wardrobe, and we really read the full season and got a more of a scope of who these guys were, because the initial audition was, I honestly, I don't remember the sides, but then Jared, says, "Hey, I want you to come and wear this wig and be the greasiest skid," and then he sends us that cyber goth video, the dancing video. So like, I was getting like bits and pieces of what this character will be. He's like, "Yeah, put the wig on. You're going to sell cigarettes to kids, and you're going to be a greasy skid." And then we're in these oversized metal T-shirts and like collars and necklaces and bracelets, and it's just.
It really is the wig, though. You change, and you always did. Whenever you put the wig on, there was something in your eyes that changed.
A shift happens.
A real shift, like a. I don't want to say demonic. It was almost feral, like animal. You became mean.
Yeah.
Especially to you,
became
buddy.
quite
Especially
mean.
to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
yes,
to you.
I know.
Because I was
this,
nice to Katie. Like I was trying to woo Katie in this episode. Actually, it was quite sweet.
Freaking creepy as hell.
I do like that stair scene though. So Daryl gets bit by this possum at the church, and then I take him to the hospital because I'm like, he has rabies. He just puked in his oatmeal.
There's
love
3 puke
his
days.
slapstick stuff was so funny. He
Yeah.
was so funny
When
in this
he
episode,
said-
like
Nate's
falling
When he
over.
looks up at Jared or Wayne, he goes, "Ow." he's just like, oh, he just got bit by a fucking possum. He was great in this episode.
He was so funny.
I remember when we did that scene where his head goes in the oatmeal. It actually goes in the oatmeal, and then I have like 4 lines or something before I walk over and pick his head up. So he had to hold his breath in oatmeal. And I remember one of the takes I took a bit too long without realizing it, and he literally, his head popped up and he went.
He's like, hey, lady, spit it out.
Notice.
Spit it out. I'm drowning over here.
Oatmeal.
Yeah, I know.
I thought he was just hitting his
That
head on the
is
table.
funny.
I didn't realize that was oatmeal.
No, he was so committed to the bit. So
He was
Good for
great.
you, Nate.
Fucking good.
And your line with fun or fungal, that was a good line.
I know.
Yeah, that was a good line.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hated
like
that line. That was
I know.
gross.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of gross stuff you guys are going to witness. Like,
I know. I'm so worried.
It's like, it shouldn't shock us at this point, but it does. I think there's like doing it is one thing, and then watching yourself do it is a whole other situation.
that was always difficult for me watching the skids after we do whatever happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people always ask, like, so did you watch the show as it was coming out? And my answer is always kind of like, oh, well, I didn't want to like affect what I was doing too much, because if I see what I'm doing, like they're already saying it's working, so that must be good enough. I'm like, oh, maybe I just don't want to see myself doing
You
those
were very
things
cute in this episode.
necessarily.
Oh, I was gonna say, Evan, totally. Like that one little look.
Asbestos.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, Kiso came up and gave me that line read. Like I originally, I think I had said so. I had slightly less of I was high pitched, but I didn't say asbestos. And he came over. He's like, so maybe like asbestos. And you guys know how Kiso can get. Like he's very particular about the language, and he really had this like shape of the word that he wanted. So that was pretty much like from Kiso's mouth to my mouth.
And then Devin shoots you.
Mouth?
Whoa.
What was your audition process like?
A lot of kissing.
And then Devin shoots you down, and you just get so insecure immediately. It was like, oh my God, poor Roldy.
It's actually a perfect little performance beat where you're kind of like, okay, like kind of like
I'm
small,
sad
but like,
now.
Yeah. Yeah, I love
Didn't
that
have to
moment.
say that.
And Devin's so great in this, played by Alex Jordy.
Alex, my gosh.
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. I'm trying to think of like his like big scream or like the $2,000.
Oh yeah,
he's like, really? Just like the way he does these certain line reads are so good.
He's a great actor. He always brought it. You always had to be on your A game with the Jordy because he was always bringing something.
Totally.
So you want to bring something back.
Yeah, I went to NTS. He was like a real theater actor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was the vibe. He was very committed to the bit.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes for real.
Well, along with a lot of the other guys on this set, ultimately,
Yeah, it's true.
It was
But
a
I think
cigarette, as
I think
we've
he
discussed.
started smoking
for this role.
for the role. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he's told me at one point. He's like, "Yeah, I just picked it up," and then I think it's when he stopped being Devin. I'm sure he quit. I hope he did anyway.
I hope
'cause
so.
That's a tough habit to have carried after. That's not fair.
It's like I gotta find a basement to rent out. I gotta find drugs to smoke. It's like no, you don't have to.
You don't got to do all that.
No, he was really, really great. And shout out to Pat and Danny too.
We're talking about him like he's dead. He's very alive, by the way. Did you already out there?
I run into him.
Absolutely.
He's doing
He's
great.
often in Toronto, actually. It's always great to run into him. But I just say past tense because like this is 10 years ago now. It's a long time ago. Like
baby DeJordy, baby Evan, baby Tyler.
I do listen to your guys' podcast. And I have to admit, Evan, it is weird sometimes watching because you said this in one of the episodes. Like it doesn't feel. It only now kind of feels like a real TV show because when we're making it, we're just a part of the process, and it's like we go back every summer, we make these episodes, we have a great time. But watching it now, I'm like, oh damn, this is a real show. Like this is it's a really great show.
Yeah, it's hitting me.
Yeah, I feel more and more proud as each episode goes along. Like it's it's quite surreal in a lot of ways. And it's cool to see these early choices that we made and the ones that we kind of really double down on as we move throughout. And then the ones that we maybe leave behind. As I've said before, Katie has a titch of an accent in season 1 that kind of like, I don't know. It's sort of turned into something else, which I'm
happy for
about.
you that you feel proud. I feel like Tyler and I, maybe we could be proud of the work. I feel like as the seasons go on, we become more and more creepy and weird and off-putting. Yep. I'm so concerned for like seasons like 10, like further seeing some of that stuff. Because I remember being like, you know, in this early season, we're just walking around like normal. Like we're still we're walking though. By season like 10, we're doing like handstands into rooms, like crawling over each other like
me into
apes.
the scene.
Yeah. What the fuck is going on later? So I'm worried. I am worried.
You shouldn't be. You should be proud because you guys just went full silly. Was that fun for you guys? Like, is there any other roles that you guys have done so far where you can just be like almost childlike silly? I would think not.
No, best job of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of those things. You show up on set, you do some crazy shit, you go home, and you're like, "Is this my job? This is what I do for a living?" Like, I've got this other man in overalls on my lap, blowing sweet nothings into my ear, and I got two other people feeding me drugs on this platter that we're planning to take over this small town of Letterkenny. It's just like it's all very.
I have such vivid memories of doing some of the most fucked up shit on Letterkenny, and then Tyler and I getting off screen, him taking the wing off, and then going, "What did we just do?" like you woke up from like being a werewolf or something. Like that wasn't you.
Yeah, some of this stuff. And I actually do have a memory of you filming. Well, yeah, because we did the rave scene, Tyler, you and I together, really.
Yes.
So like I was there. I watched the monitor when you were making out the mirror, and I saw you getting ready. I saw them putting the eyelashes on you. Like this look was so haunting, first of all. Like you could
have picked a number of words, but haunting.
I think you look hot.
Yeah.
I think you look cool.
Hotting.
No.
You look cool.
Yeah.
No, it's haunting. I'm sorry. You look ill, and it's like
sick,
very
like ill.
He's actually supposed to look healthier at this point.
That's the healthier most.
You would think. But they've made you paler somehow, and it's just like such a heartbreaking moment. The puff of smoke engulfing you
I know.
is so.
I know.
You gotta tell us. Was that? It looked like way too much smoke.
Yeah.
Like, did you inhale all that?
I mean, I don't remember, but I remember just being engulfed in smoke, and then it dissipates, and just no one's in the egg hole. It was heartbreaking, except for six
Bonnie
security guards.
Yeah,
Bonnie
Camila
and
was
Katie.
There.
Yeah.
This is our intro episode to Bonnie McMurray as well,
God.
which is so weird and also cute.
I gotta say, I'm happy. In my mind, I was like, oh. I know they joke about Bonnie being super young. At least she's back from college right now. I didn't ever catch that early. I know that's still way too young, but in my mind, I'm like,
Right.
I thought like the way everyone talks about her and like the creepiness vibe that surrounds Bonnie McMurray, especially in the early seasons. I was like, this is a child. We got to ease up. And that's part of the joke of the show, right? Them being like, grass isn't grown in yet. Brr. Like, I don't know, whatever the quote is in the next. I know.
Was that a quote?
I know. It's disgusting.
Evan,
It's something like that.
crazy.
They say some shit like that in the next couple episodes where they're like, where he's like, maybe let it marinate a little longer.
No, let the paint dry. Yeah, let the
They say
paint
a bunch of stuff. It's not just the one time. Maybe delete this part.
I don't know.
But either way, it's nice to see Camila.
And what was
I love her.
McMurray saying on the phone there, that last scene to Wayne? Like he was Yeah, okay. We could maybe edit this part out. But
to have sexual intercourse with his sister.
Intercourse sexually.
Yeah, sexually intercourse. Whatever that means, I don't know. But
I think he says give her the guts or something.
ew, God. It's crass in a way. Season 1 again went full crass. Shout out Crave TV for allowing all of this to go down. Yeah. But I think for us in our own POV, because Camila, when we shot season 1,
she was young.
Like we were all young, but she was 16. Like she was.
Was she actually 16?
Yes, she was 16.
So she was playing like a 19-year-old or something.
I was 24.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You were 24?
Yeah.
You were also so young.
Yeah.
And Tyler, you were like 38 at the time?
About 38, right, Tyler? Yeah.
That's why I was so much wiser and smarter than you.
Camila on to talk about this. We're gonna have to
I can't wait to have Camila because what a crazy thing.
Yeah, Tyler, get the fuck out of here.
You guys still have me right now. Like I'm.
I know.
She's in Toronto now.
Can we just give her some flowers right now? Camila, at 16 years old, enters a Letterkenny set that is hyper masculine, asking a lot, especially, the show did ask a lot of everybody, but it asked a lot of its female characters. Absolutely. We had to move so quickly. There wasn't maybe enough time. And her and I can't wait to chat with her about this. We didn't get to talk. I don't even think I met her on set until the very end. So it was just a little bit it was a bit of an ask for her. And she just showed up. She's so poised and confident and respectful. And
she was a great actor.
And she kills it. And she kills it.
I know. So, I'm she should have been in, again, these are the types of things you see her, especially now that we know her so well and years and years and years have gone by. I'm she should have been in the show so much more. She's immediately
and she, as time goes on, they do write her in more because she's so captivating to watch and so lovely to work with and all the things. So it was really cool to see her enter the Letterkenny sphere.
She's a very smart young lady,
killing it. Oh yeah, she's such a great actor, and she's a lovely person. Yeah. So it was great to see that first scene. Be wow, she really dominates that scene and she's a kid.
She's got those puppy dog love eyes, just staring at him, the doe eyes.
Doing anything. Oh,
yeah, big smile, being so sweet, but really takes the space. And that is not easy to do, especially against an actor like Jared Keystone. She really holds it together. It's huge.
Absolutely.
So shout out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, shout out.
We love her.
Yeah, for sure.
My God.
We love her. I miss her, man. Some people we don't get to see as often. And she's one of those people I would like to see more often if I get the chance, because she's good people.
Yeah, definitely. No, but I do love, I love that she was there. I think that's so cute. Katie and Bonnie kind of writing for you in this way. And maybe they also just love electronic music. I don't know for sure, but
why was she there at the end? Just for the dance with Wayne? That was it.
I think just for the dance. Yeah, she wanted the dance with Wayne. You are outstanding in this role. And then, of course, your heart is instantly broken. Although I feel like you should have at least given Katie a smile.
What, on the steps of the clinic?
No,
at the rave.
I'm I don't think I was.
He was just so ashamed.
Yeah.
He couldn't.
Yeah, I was so sad and so ashamed, so betrayed. I mean, my skid brothers weren't even there, and good thing I didn't know that they were the ones who sabotaged the thing.
I was gonna say you never really learned that, which is good because you probably would have killed us.
And then when I come back and I say we're going to make this the biggest meth town in this side of the Mississippi or whatever I said. And then you guys start dancing fucking maniacs. And it's just crazy cuts and close up on my eye. And it's just, oh my God, it turned into mayhem. Yeah.
This was the intro to good, the hardcore EDM stuff that we end up getting for the rest of the show. Some big, even the Keys and Crates song that we end up using for the live tour.
Yeah. I know.
That's this episode.
Right.
It shows up.
Yeah.
And I'm a big girl now.
Oh my God.
I do what I want. I'm a big girl now. Wild song to be
she's
playing
saying,
over you.
it's my pussy. Bleep it. I don't know. I can do what I want.
It's not what she's saying.
That's what she's saying. That's the song.
It's my pussy. I can do what I want.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I love that that's the skid song.
Yeah. Well, yes. We're queens. We are.
You are queens.
We are queens.
Ultimately, you are queens. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
the music is so
good. And the native flu is introduced in this one.
The native flu. It's the first time we see Gunny Dio.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Bradley.
Oh my God.
Dylan as well.
Absolute force. When the native squad comes and you're just who is she? Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, she's starting back to you and then turns smoking.
Yeah.
I was oh shit.
Yeah, talk about presence. Yeah, I can't wait to also have her. We have so many people. Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, but Tyler, we're so happy you're here.
No, I'm still, get the fuck out of here. We can call someone else.
For a few minutes. You guys are just talking about everybody else.
We spend so much time with Tyler. Yeah, Tyler, did you like any of those people? Or?
I loved everybody. Shout out to Brad and Dylan who were in that scene too. Those guys were in probably 20-something episodes, 30 episodes too.
Yeah, definitely.
At least, yeah.
And Dylan was in
nicest guys on the
movie
planet
recently, Seeds. Dylan Cook is amazing in Dio's movie Seeds. For anybody who hasn't seen that, make sure you check that movie out.
Good plug. That's the move.
Yeah. You have a really good, you should be a trailer announcer guy.
Thank you.
Yeah. He's also very professional with it. He's always been, I gotta say, I've done more interviews with Tyler James Blake Johnston than any other person on the face of the earth, right? He and I have been paired up so many times. It's I'm here going, And then Tyler always goes, well, thank you so much.
What my friend was trying to say
Talk
is,
Canada,
we're happy to be here
with us today.
and we appreciate every opportunity you gave us. like that interview we did with the TSN.
Can we talk about that? The TSN interview. We have to post this on Instagram. No, we have to. Evan is so okay. So what were we doing? Press.
We did a full day of press for the last season of Letterkenny. So we were doing interviews all day.
Yeah, Tyler and I. Mm-hmm.
Michelle wasn't feeling very good. She was feeling sicky.
I had COVID, definitely.
Yeah. You go ahead, Michelle. You tell the story.
I definitely had COVID. Well, no, I mean, I was supposed to do this interview with you at the game, the hockey game that night, and then I was just too sick, and so you guys did it together instead. Yeah. And I don't know, how did that go, guys? Let's just tell me the story.
It was like the second intermission, so we had been having a couple beers with dinner. And
you had beers? Oh, I don't.
And then we get down and we can't hear a thing. It's so loud in the arena. We can't hear a thing. And we're having like a very casual conversation with the woman who's going to interview us. And then
Chloe.
all of a sudden we're in the interview, and I don't think Evan and I even realized the interview had started, and we can't hear her, and it was quite chaotic. I had a sarcastic moment that she didn't like read or register, and it was just like
she couldn't hear any of her answers, and you and I made a joke every time she talked to us.
Every answer was a joke.
So we would make a joke, and she would stonewall us. And then at one point, I made a joke like, well, all these people came to see us, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's
right,
clearly
guys?
a joke.
You turn to the audience.
We're at a Leafs game, and she doesn't smile, and you're staring forward.
I know.
It's the worst interview TSN has ever done.
No, it's
our
literally
fault entirely.
it's one of my favorite things I've ever seen. Oh my God.
Actually, so
Keith texted afterwards. He was like, well, that went as well as it could have.
I don't think he texted me.
He said something like, that was good enough.
I was like, God. I'm devastated. I've been crying every day. It's like, well, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your night.
How is it having the show come to an end? I'm devastated. Just like, anyway, and back to you.
Yeah.
Back to you, Bob.
Yeah,
Tyler
you guys look crazy.
6 beer deep.
That was the interview, huh? You pressed record and
It's honestly, it's so, you guys, it is so funny and endearing, and you are funny and you look funny, but it's just like, it's iconic because she doesn't seem mean or rude.
No,
she just cannot hear you, and it's so clear.
Yeah, she can't hear it.
And you guys just keep taking the swing.
Just like, we just keep swinging.
We never give up.
Swinging.
That's us. We never give up.
You never give up. It's so fucking funny. Oh, I love that. Yeah, so we're going to be posting that. We have to post it.
That's a good one.
It's too good.
Yeah, Evan, you
just keep to
really
ourselves.
ran away with that one, buddy. You started strong and finished strong in that one. So thanks for that.
Thanks, man. You too.
I also like in this episode, Hockey is chewing tobacco, and both Dylan and Andrew were like, I don't think we should be chewing tobacco,
for the kids.
For the kids. Yeah. They didn't want the young hockey players watching them chew tobacco. So they kiboshed that.
Oh, that's cool.
I think they actually had one person had reached out to I think it was to Dylan, and had been like talking about chewing tobacco, and
what's
they
your
were
favorite
really,
dip,
really
buddy?
young. Yeah, exactly. What's your favorite dip, buddy? You like the green apple, buddy?
Oh my God.
And I think Dylan was like, oh my God, no, no. And then
he's also a Disney star, so he has a ton of little kids watching his every move. So that's sweet that he was thinking.
He's really
about
good with his fans.
He does a lot of other gross stuff in the show, though. So he's not. He can get away with. He gets away with murder for being a Disney star. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Compared to other Disney stars, like he can really go out there and do some butt art and whatnot.
Oh my goodness!
And it's not a big deal.
It is a work of art, that butt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Connor, buddy. Connor, if you can hear me.
You can just edit that out, maybe.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I have notes,
we'll be keeping that in. I'm trying to think. There's so much that goes on
Gus.
in this.
It's the first time we see Gus.
Yeah.
And he does the little headlock on Gusser.
I like when Nathan throws up, Gus looks at him as well. It's like everyone at the table just
Gus-
looks, including Gus. Like, what are you doing, pal?
I love Gus.
He's an incredible actor,
Yeah,
Gus.
no, Gus.
I worked with him
Gus
many
wanna
times.
see us say. Yeah.
Yeah, you
No,
yeah.
and like
And you babysat, you
we
dog
had this
sat
scene
for him?
together.
Yeah.
I've spent some good moments with Gus. He's actually the first dog that I grew up with dogs, but I didn't have my own dog until Clementine, which we like haven't really talked about our dogs yet, which is crazy.
Our best job we've done on the podcast so far is us not talking about our dogs
about
this
our
long.
dogs, yeah.
It's really impressive, actually. We
It's
haven't
so
alienated
hard.
the audience.
Yeah, he's just edited it all. No, but yeah, so I took care of Gus for a weekend, but he's just like the sweetest. Oh,
Yeah,
he was the
he was the
sweetest
best
dog.
dog.
And anytime he was so engaged with you when you were in a scene with him, like the way he would look at me when I was talking to him, he was just like, he was so tapped
Maybe
in.
he rehearsed
It's
with
really
Jared
cute.
a lot. Maybe he's a good,
Yeah, Jared and him did
good scene
Meisner
partner.
together.
Yeah.
Probably.
I was just looking at my list of topics from the episode, and I have so many
Nice.
questions for you guys now.
Yeah.
Can I lightning you questions really quickly?
Oh, fuck.
Please.
Is this going to be interesting? Lightning round of
Yeah,
questions for you
that's
two?
fun.
Sweating out the tequila
That's
stuff,
fine.
but let's get it.
Tyler, how close did Jared get to hitting you with the chair?
Not very close. You know
No,
how
you
fucking
weren't
fast I am, dude? Dude, I was back in Vancouver by the time he chucked that check and check it. Fuck.
Okay.
Connor,
Connor, buddy.
Connor, get that out of there.
tighten that up,
Man,
Connor.
yeah. I was in Vancouver by the time he chucked that second chair. Just insert that back in, buddy. Thanks.
Have we must have already talked about the fact that you're wearing
Not very lightning, buddy. This is
bathing suit
not
with
a
fringe on it, right?
What?
You have fringe on the side of your bathing suit.
Me?
Yeah, in that episode.
Oh, yeah.
Like cowboy fringe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. That's kind of that. Those were the white bottoms of the super separate. So like there's fringe, plenty of fringe. I'm glad we switched up the top so it's not too aggressively fringe. But again,
Good.
Katie's there in a bathing suit, simply just standing in front of her brother and nobody else, which is an interesting choice, as always.
Connor,
Yeah.
take it out. These aren't lightning questions. These are just things that
These are just
remind me. And
questions.
we've talked about most of these things. We've talked about most of this stuff.
take the lightning out of it.
I am reminded that I have a possum who lives under my Jeep. I don't know why I didn't mention this before.
What? Currently?
Yeah, we call him Sam. Every time he comes out, it comes skittering out. and then it terrifies
I was
me in
gonna
the
say,
night.
buddy,
when I
that's
go to
probably
the-
not
when I
good
go-
for your fear.
No, not at all. Every time it's dark out and I go to my vehicle, I'm afraid of Sam being there. And so I always look.
Wow.
And sometimes he's there and sometimes he's not. He's never hurt me, but
Yeah, that's something to consider. Whoa. I don't think I've ever seen a possum.
They're so gnarly.
they're huge. Yeah, they're like this big and they're like the face of a fucking like giant rat, pointy pink rat, like a fuzzy body and a huge long tail. And they're thick. They're like hefty.
Ew.
Yeah, they're really gross. And their teeth are like this.
Yeah, I don't think you want
Like
to
they're
get
out.
bit by those fucking
You can see
things.
them.
Poor Derry. Poor Derry.
Yeah, poor guy. Great episode for him though. Honestly,
great episode.
Really good slapstick episode. Really good like
I want
comedic body acting.
a
Yeah.
poster.
By Nate.
I want one of those posters, to be honest with you. I wish I kept one because those things are crazy.
Oh, man.
I have
Oh
like
yeah, that would be actually great to have. Like that's a good
Yeah,
memory.
that would-
Do you guys have any memorabilia? Actually, like
I don't have a thing.
did you? What did you
Yeah, but it's
take?
all crazy paintings of myself. Like I don't need
Right.
paintings and pictures of my own face on my walls. So it's all in my storage unit because I'm like, I can't put these up.
Yeah.
It's like, I would look like, my apartment's not that big. I would look like the most egomaniacal narcissist in the world if I had just like,
Didn't you have a picture of yourself
Self-portraits.
behind you in your stream? Wasn't that kind of like a thing? You
Shut up.
Okay,
You know what?
I
You
remember going to your stream.
You
and
know
there's
what? You don't
pictures
even
of you
have to be
behind
here
you. So
anymore.
in your back,
Michelle and I can finish the fucking.
I just remember your backdrop
episode.
actually having pictures of you because I tune into your stream.
God, this is crazy.
Am I wrong?
I actually appreciate that.
Am I
man.
wrong in
appreciate
saying
you.
that?
No,
though?
you're a nice guy. No, thank you for showing up to the streams. And you do remember things, and that's true. I did have my headshot cut out and then put onto a little cloud lamp so it looked like the face of, and I would do little, and I would zoom in on it and go, "Ah, the voice of God." But then, sorry. That's,
So you can follow him on Twitch too if you want some of this this great stuff.
good,
Are you drinking a beer?
it's a non-alcoholic beer.
Nice.
I was on the front page of Twitch last week talking about the podcast.
Awesome.
I just had some front page time, and I was just like,
Nice.
"Hey, Letterkenny podcast Q&A." Had tons of people come in who
Seems
hadn't
like
heard
it's
of it
doing
yet,
really
so
well.
It's very
Like,
exciting.
it seems like
Oh, way better than we expected.
Thanks to everyone listening and rating, and it makes it so that we could potentially keep this going for a while, which is absolutely the goal. So
Yeah, we
really
might be able to
stoked.
like fly Tyler out at
Literally.
some point.
And
you know,
everybody wants to do like a video. They want to watch the video on YouTube. And it's harder to do that when we're not together, obviously. And it'd be so nice for us to be able to record all together in a
be so
room and then
fun.
release the video. So anyways, hopefully that happens at some point soon.
And I could be the spare part of spare parts.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can just come in and be our little mascot guy.
Mascot.
little mascot guy. I have to go back to the
Mascot
beginning
guy.
intro when I said my little man from Coquitlam.
That was a crazy introduction, buddy. That was.
I have to say, I know that it's pronounced Coquitlam. I just, in my brain, I couldn't think of a thing that rhymed with Coquitlam.
Okay.
Can you?
Not off the top of my head. I haven't spit bars in years. So you give me a couple more. You give me some more time. I get a fire bar together.
Yeah. Here are your 3 words, Harry Mack. Coquitlam,
A Topa Coke.
Granville Island. Yeah. Etobicoke.
Oh, golly. And Lady Smith.
Tyler always turned us on to like I know so Keese is the music guy on set, like for the actual show Letterkenny, but Tyler, in my feeling, was always the like hip hop music guy. If you wanted to know about a new artist, Tyler always knew about that artist first. That's how I felt. You always turned me on to so many artists.
I appreciate
over
that,
the course
Evan.
of
What I
the
don't
10 years
appreciate
we worked
is
together.
Michelle's recoil.
What's going on with this
Yeah.
face? Oh, you're responding to her.
Because you know, Evan, it's because
I'm so
she's
used to
not
you
the
being
hip
upset
hop.
with
Because
me.
she's not the hip hop queen.
Oh, because it's not Michelle.
You were talking about me and not about her, so she got mad.
Oh, Michelle, sorry. I didn't even...
Michelle, we can both
You have a
like
different-
music, though. We used to, we like music.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's just kind of
Is the
interesting.
podcast over, Michelle? Are we done now?
I'm going to need to talk to my lawyer, and then my lawyer's going to talk to you. And it's, but it's fine. It's fine. It's going to be fine.
I appreciate that, Evan. I do love music, and I love sharing it with my friends.
Yeah, you do share great music. And we listen to some great, like when we get ready in the trailer, because often Tyler and I would be there pretty early because Tyler's got a lot of glam to go through, and as do
The
I.
divas of Letterkenny need to get ready.
Well, literally.
You're getting your
yeah.
spray tan. He's getting his spray
My
white.
God. Yes, exactly.
We're both getting our hair flat ironed till it's almost snapping off.
Pin straight.
Yeah, no, but we would always be listening to hip hop at like 5:30 in the morning, drinking coffee.
Those were
It was fun.
fun days. Yeah.
Those were. I have some great videos of me
my
being
God.
like yelling at you to dance, and you would do it.
I remember you used to like kind of bully me. And like there was moments too, like where I was like, hey, Michelle,
was awesome.
like we're going to start drinking here. So if you couldn't secretly, privately record us, that would be great because this doesn't
Oh my
need
God,
to
you
end
did
up.
say that a lot.
Yeah. I was like, this doesn't need to end up on Instagram.
But did I always? Well, I'm sure there was in the beginning a couple of
Yeah, you were
things
going to
that
say
I would
always.
post,
And
but
then
they
you're
were.
like, well, that doesn't.
But they were because I've got to be truthful here.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so glad I have all those videos because for the memories, and I haven't posted basically any of them, and they're just for me and us to share. And maybe I'll get your permission because I do have a certain video that I have in mind of you dancing on a table, doing kind of this move.
Oh, yeah,
it's like
my
sort of
move.
what I'm doing.
That's the classic
listeners.
Tyler.
Yeah, it's kind of like a skirt,
skirt.
whatever.
Yeah.
So anyways,
I would like to
I'm
see
happy
that.
I took those videos and I documented our lives on Letterkenny. I think that's important.
If we didn't have Michelle taking videos, we would never have that unhinged, shirtless video of us in the tour bus
Correct.
with, like, honestly, one of the weirdest videos that's ever been made. Letterkenny
directed.
wise, that you directed. Like
you're like,
again,
all of you take your
bullying
shirt
us.
off, go into this really small space.
Yes.
You're like, you're up on
It's
this.
very
you're-
unsafe.
Higher up, lower,
Yeah.
Stop smiling.
Yeah, you're
Stare
all
right at the lens.
smoking.
puff your chest out.
Yeah, I'm like, look more muscly. God.
I love that video. I actually watched it the other day because I was like, did that happen? And I like scrolled through my phone and I was like, oh my God.
It is a very fever dream type video.
Yeah.
I also like the one of us all working out in the gym where it's like, James and
is-
then like, yeah. And then Lil Jon starts playing. It's
Oh my God. We could get James and Greg on the podcast too. Easy.
Oh, I'd love to
Still,
get them
you're still
on.
working through your first guest,
Absolutely.
though, guys. Let's just stay focused.
Jackson Ron. Oh, sorry. I
God,
keep forgetting
right.
you're here.
I know.
Happens a lot.
It's because you fit in so well with us,
know.
Tyler.
You
You,
actually
know
do.
that.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
5'6".
it's as if you're always here. Yeah.
I'm always watching. And mom is.
Okay, so to wrap up this segment, Rave. I mean, we still have much.
I
to
know,
go,
but I don't want to stop talking about.
This is fun.
I don't want to talk forever.
I know it's.
Michelle's got plans tonight.
No, you're right. I know she's got to go places.
I mean, it's Friday night. Come on, guys.
You know Michelle. She's going out on a Friday and a Saturday.
She's going to Earl's.
8:45 hits. She's going home.
Literally. I'm going out at 7 and I'm in bed at 8:45.
It's my go home alarm.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Spare Hearts, but I just want to say before we move on, I have this one specific memory of Tyler turning me on to Jack Harlow when he had, I'm not kidding, 1,000 views on like a YouTube channel. And he had little glasses and curly hair and he was in high school. And Tyler's like, this guy's going to be huge. And I was like, Tyler could have been a manager.
I think so.
Like, that's what
Especially if that's how I spoke with that kind of energy. That was kind of like greasy manager
you were
energy.
Confident.
I used to be confident. I look at those episodes. I'm like, man, you used to be just confident.
What happened?
What happened?
What happened,
You're still the most confident.
You look like Tom Cruise.
Interesting watching
Yeah.
those
Better
episodes
looking.
10 years ago and just being like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck
I
is
know,
going
it's
on?
really-
When I was making out with myself,
it's
I was like, I don't
chaos.
think that was in the script. I think that was just me going for it. And then Jacob's like,
More.
okay.
More.
More.
We got
Keep
it.
it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Yeah. I'm just going to take my phone out now I'm just going to A-cam off. You guys can leave.
Man, that was really
it's a
special to watch
very
that
good
today.
episode.
I gotta say, it was like, I'm feeling all sorts of feelings. I just watched it like 2 hours ago too. So
Thanks for watching Letterkenny. If you ever want to watch another episode, come back. We're here.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
I would love to, guys. What a fucking
Great.
trip. What a trip. And now here we are, 10 years later.
I
80-something
know, almost 10
episodes.
years later.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Now we
it's
can't
really
even be in the
crazy.
same
It's
room
been such a
together.
ride.
We just like have to record from different
Zoom.
cities.
This is for your safety, Tyler.
It's like our makeup trailer. Me and Michelle used to listen to music, and then they had to separate everybody. We all had our own makeup trailers, and it just got crazy. So
The glory days of season 1.
yeah, who knew?
Well,
All right,
thank you so
hard
much.
hard cut to Spare Hearts. You ready? I'm gonna do I'll do a Spare Hearts.
That was cool. I like that.
Thank you.
I didn't love it.
Tyler?
Tyler didn't like that as much. Do you have a question ready for us,
No,
Michelle?
I love it.
I do. I
don't want this to
actually
end.
have 2. I know. Well, I have 2 questions. Does that make you
Yes.
happy?
Yeah.
It does.
Okay, so I have 2 questions because they're both
Happier.
Exactly.
happier than normal, at least. Yeah, because they're both a little bit short. But again, thank you to everybody who's
Wait,
writing in.
I'm
This is so
5'7"
fun
and a
for
half.
us.
I told you.
I'm 5. You're 5'6". We're both 5'6".
I'm not. We got to go butt to butt. It's the only way we're going to know who's taller, if our butts are touching.
Oh, we have to go butt to butt.
We always have to go butt to butt. Okay, ready?
Connor, buddy, help.
Okay. Hey guys, we'll call him Sam, 28, living in Florida, loving the pod, and I'd wager I'm a super fan of Letterkenny. I got a doozy for you. Get this. I was in a not so great relationship for a solid 4 years. Due to financial reasons, we've had to stay living together for, get this, another 4 years. I finally found somebody else who makes me very happy. She knows about my past with my ex. My ex has also recently found somebody, but that makes me slightly, in brackets, understatement, upset. What's going on there? There's a lot more there, but that's just the summary to keep things short and sweet. P.S. Michelle's Tim Allen impersonation was top tier.
Yeah, can we start with? Yeah, I was gonna say we need Tyler's.
That was good, Tyler.
Can you do it again? I didn't. I
No,
wasn't-
I don't want to do it again.
I was speaking over it. I really want to hear it.
Can Okay.
Why are they getting worse? The hurt dog.
Well, this situation sounds tricky.
So, yeah. So, an 8-year in total, like,
Relationship.
I'm shocked, to be honest, because the thought of living with an ex, even if you ended on good terms for 4 years, and like, look, housing out there is crazy. There's no question. And like, but there's gotta
but
be
even
another
so,
way.
There has to be. No one has to live, no matter how difficult it is to find housing. No one has to live with their ex for 4 years.
Sounds like this person may still have feelings for that ex, so maybe that might be part of the reason why.
You know what, Tyler? I think you might be.
That's
onto
why maybe it's lingered a little longer than it should have.
I think you might be onto something, my friend. I mean, coworker.
Former coworker.
Former coworker.
Michelle, you should handle this one.
Yeah, it seems obvious that you're still in love with your ex. I just am like, sometimes you got to make choices in your life. It's like you're dating someone new, but you're still attached to your ex. You're still sharing space. And then now you're getting your own feelings hurt because your ex who you live with has also moved on. And it's like, well, duh. You've dug yourself this grave. And it's like, I think you maybe need to switch up your situation like immediately.
It doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like you made any great efforts to like get back together with your ex during those 4 years. I mean, maybe I'm just reading into this, but it sounds like you guys were just like complicitly living together, maybe flirtation occasionally, but it doesn't sound like you guys were like hooking up or anything. You didn't make it sound like it was like an extensive, sex. Friends with, sex. Friends with benefits type situation. It didn't, because even then it's like your exes. There's no such thing as friends with benefits if you're exes. You're just having sex again. You're just back together a little bit. I hope that your new partner, I just hope that you can have this conversation with your new partner and it isn't just like when your new partner hears this podcast and is like, oh my God, that's obviously Sam. I knew Sam was in love with his ex this whole time. like that's my only concern now. Is that
because it's a very specific situation.
Yeah. 4 years is, there's no other person out there who's been living with their ex for 4 years. You're the person.
Yeah, you're it.
You're the guy. You're the one person. You're it, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, I would say either try to get back with your ex or just like get out of there. Like, especially if you're hurt that she's with somebody else. Like, I don't think this is a healthy spot.
And I think when you get out of any relationship, it's best to distance yourself from that person. And living in the same space isn't really a great way to get over someone, I'd say. You know, it's a constant reminder of maybe what you want or what you want the relationship to be. And don't think it's the best way of getting over someone living in the same space.
Yeah.
Times are tough though. Like people get together and move in together because of financially, of course, situations. Yeah. So life is tricky in that regard. But I think like you were saying, if it's at the risk of you emotionally being kind of compromised constantly, I don't think it's worth it.
I can give you a 2-month window, 2 to 6 month at the most, where I'm like, to find a new place.
Go stay at a buddy's. You got any buddies?
Because and that's kind of like, especially if you end amicably, I can totally see the whole, like I'm going to be here for a little bit while I look for a spot.
Yeah, that fair enough.
Well,
4 years tells me something else is going on.
I'm staying right here.
This is like a TV show. Like you're describing a sitcom.
Yeah. Like, it's very New Girl, which I haven't really seen, but like that's my assumption.
Well, that's what the show's about.
Yeah, kind of. Where it's like we're all just kind of like, if it ain't broke energy. But obviously, if you're hurt because she's dating somebody else now and you're in another relationship, like that's like a problem.
I get it. It's something you can't control your own emotions, but it's also like a little possessive, and it's sort of like if you didn't want to. I hate. If you're not going to get off the pot,
I knew you were going to say that.
I don't want to say that, but I can't think of another idiom.
What did you say?
Right.
Shit or get off the pot. Like he should. Like this person should have. Sorry, you made me say it again.
I actually didn't hear
so explicitly. But it's like if you didn't want to be with this person, you should do something about it if you truly want to be with this person. And that's all I'll say. And I think this is up to you, Sam. It's out of our hands.
Yeah, but I would say really prioritize getting your own place so that you can think clearly.
Wait,
because
he
it's
still hasn't
obviously
moved out?
I'm assuming.
Oh my God. I just assumed that he had moved out by the 4-year mark. Oh, brother. I'll send you links. We'll go on Craigslist together, Sam.
We've had to stay living together for another 4 years.
Move into a creepy basement. Like move into get out of there.
Anything is better than this. Anything is better than this. This is too crazy, Sam. I'm worried about
Go to a hostel. I feel like a hostel would be more interesting. You'd meet a ton of people. Be really interesting.
Yeah.
It's like $10 a night, some of them.
There's roommate situations. There's other options. I think this been a bit of a codependent situation going on. And I think you're unable to think clearly because your ex is right in front of your face. And so it's tricking your mind into thinking that it's still important. And it might not be.
I'm picturing them sharing like it's probably like the smallest place, and they're like, oh, are you done your shower yet? Like, oh, like they come out and like they're in like bathrobes, and you know what I mean? Like living with someone is such an intimate thing.
Obviously.
There's so much like naked. You have to be naked at home a lot.
Yeah.
Cooking is romantic.
You okay, Michelle?
Yeah. Michelle's trying to kick her boyfriend out, and she's like, oh, he's so gross.
No, I'm
that's a tough
imagining the concept
spot.
of
I don't think I've heard
living
of
with an
anything
ex.
quite like that before.
Yeah.
It sounds fun if you're still super into your ex, because it's like almost like a kink, like being stuck in the same place and we can't do anything about it. So I know you're making the face, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I think, again, though, if you're trying to you're 28 now, Sam, you're 28. And so you're an adult, and maybe like this kind of like you said, toxic, potentially kinky situation was sort of like fun for a bit and felt kind of just like, who cares? And now it's like, well, this is getting a bit too crazy.
We're going to have to move on to our second question. I just had a revelation, though. This is literally a plot line in New Girl, How I Met Your Mother, Friends, like every single sitcom I can think of. Every main character lives with their ex for a period of time because they're like, no, it won't be a big deal. Why don't you just move in with me?
That's true. Wait, Sam, did you just fuck with us and write us a sitcom?
Yeah, and then we're going to call it The Big Bang Theory. And
yeah, we do it in that too.
What? Sam, are you a writer? Are you a ghostwriter? Yeah.
Is this Sam Dahl? Sorry.
If this is in fact real, try to get out of there. Do whatever you can to get out of there, and then reevaluate your feelings. And if you still have feelings for your ex, I would try to like reapproach that differently.
Yep.
That's my little nugget of advice.
Tyler, can you lead us into question 2 with your sexy radio voice?
Yeah.
Question 2. Question 2. Question number 2.
What's the opposite of ASMR?
Question number 2. And the second question is, next up, question number 2.
You're so good at that.
Are you okay?
What did it say?
Evan, you asked
need
him.
Help? You need
I know,
help.
but I didn't
Do
think
you
his
need
brain would break.
help? A computer keeps asking me if I need help.
Is this what it's like to direct you as an actor?
You tried a few times.
Mistake asking something.
Shut that down.
Yo,
You're my scene partner. You're not my director, Evan.
Anytime on set, I'd be like, "Hey Tyler, do you mind if you like stepped over
Who's
the left one foot so I could do this thing?" You would like berate me.
Who's Tyler?
You fucking. Well, Jacob didn't ask me to do that, so I
You mean the
don't
director,
think I'm
Jacob?
gonna.
The director who's directing me, Jacob? God.
Oh, is your name Jacob now? Oh, I didn't see you change
Why
your
don't
name.
you just shut your mouth and climb up onto my lap? Rolled.
And then he would.
No, we had a great relationship, but it was toxic.
Speaking of toxic relationships,
Roll
speaking
would
of
never move
We
out.
could have had a
Roll
spare
can
hearts in
never
our
move
life.
out.
Yeah.
That's actually true.
Wait,
You
thought
guys
we
do
lived
live together.
I don't think we live together.
I think you live together. I think you live on the couch, and then Tyler Stewart gets the master bedroom,
Absolutely.
of course.
You keep an eye on things. You're like the guard dog.
You think Roald had his own apartment?
I think Roald had like a really lovely, well manicured condo with like a nice robe, and like he had showers and he was very clean, and his apartment was
Have
nice.
you been doing the rewatch? Have you been watching during this rewatch?
I think he puts on kind of like cosplay to go hang out with you, to like spend time with you, like puts on his little chain and he like greases his hair up a little bit with some like coconut oil, and he like paints his nails poorly or like chips off the paint a little bit.
Roald has open sores. I don't think he has a nice condo. I don't think he has a nice condo.
Beautiful smooth neck. He's faking all of it. He just wants to be inside. I mean, in with Stewart.
He just wants to be inside Stewart. Period.
Nice.
Nice, Tyler. Hey, great callback, Tyler.
Thank you. Improv 101. Yes, and. Yes, and.
Rule of 3. If you could do it one more time before the episode's out, that would really tie it all together. Okay, second question. Here we go. Hey, I absolutely love the podcast and I'm a big fan of Letterkenny. My question is it okay to be friends with guys while you're married? Me, female 24, and my husband, male 24.
Yes! Sorry, I'm not going to let you finish the question. Yes!
Okay, yes.
Sorry, continue.
But maybe there's something weird going on here. I haven't read this. This is exciting. We've been together since 2018.
I'm a zebra. And okay, sorry, go on. Continue.
And we've been married since 2021. I went to college until 2020 and made a small group of lifelong friends, 2 girls and 2 boys, all pretty much the same age. 2 have moved away and it's just my friend, let's call her Alexis and let's call him Steven, and me that can hang out and still live about 1 to 2 hours away from each other. Steven works about 20 hours away in the summer and is now back for the winter season. And we were all supposed to hang out this weekend.
Is this a math problem?
I know. Stay with me.
If a train is moving at 20 kilometers an hour, going from Stephen to, I was like, what's happening? Okay. Sorry.
Stay with me. Stay with me.
Stephen.
Okay, so yeah, we're all supposed to hang out this weekend, but Alexis and her boyfriend got busy. So I invited Stephen to hang out with my husband and his friends and do a fire after. And then my husband asked how Stephen knew about it. I told him I invited him because we were already going to go hang out. I just want to say I don't hang out with him, just the 2 of us. I always make sure Alexis or my husband or someone else is there. I just feel like that's the right thing to do. And Stephen was excited for our wedding and always supportive, but I can't help to think if my husband might be jealous or something. I can't unfriend him and he's a good friend, but I don't know what to do. If it was the other way around, I can understand, but I know my husband would never do anything. I'm not either, so it's fine to be friends with him, right? Hope that made some sense. Thanks in advance. Love you guys. It did make some sense. I understand what you're saying. Of course, it's okay to have friends of the opposite sex, and I mean, look at the 3 of us.
Actually, I'm convinced. I think we have to end this podcast. I think she's right, and I think I actually can no longer be friends with.
It's inappropriate.
It's inappropriate.
Yeah,
we spend too much time. If we're together alone,
anything could happen.
Inappropriate. Anything could happen. Inappropriate.
Yeah. People are weird about this, though. Like, I think there's like, it's a case by case basis. I do think you have to trust your partner's instincts. Sometimes, maybe if they're like, no, this person seems like they're either like trying to be kind of harmful, or I'm worried about them in some way. Like, that's a conversation that can be on the table, sure. But a friend, like a lifelong friend who's obviously been invited to hang out with all of you and you guys can get a vibe check all together. It's like, there's no secrets here. So you don't deserve to be not trusted.
I think that the gendering of friendship, even just looking at a person and going, that's a man or a woman, and that will have an impact on whether or not I can be friends with them or have, like, that to me is such an archaic thought. Yeah. It sounds to me like you are heavily influenced by the society around you and by the people around you. And you sound like you live in kind of a smaller town and you probably don't interact with too many people. In a city, you see people of all genders and everything, and we all interact so often that maybe we have more experience doing this. So it's like, to me, the idea of not being friends with a woman, like, most of my friends are women. I have some male friends for sure. I love my guys. But some of my best friends in the world are women. Michelle and I are, like, I love Michelle. And there's no world where we are a threat to each other's existence or a threat to each other's partner's existence.
Yeah.
And I don't even, honestly, this upsets me so much. This question upsets me.
I know, this does upset.
It's so hard to, I don't know what to do.
Your passion is inspiring.
The idea
and I like to
of
see it.
eliminating 50% of the world's population strictly because of sort of, some gender situation is I understand where there's some insecurity probably in that relationship in certain areas, but I think in our show they said it, trust someone until they give you a reason not to, or something like that. So, I mean, if this person has betrayed your trust in the past, then I understand why you'd put the walls up. But, the idea of not having any female friends, I mean, that's how I learn more about women and, different things in society and in the community around me, because I value my female friendships for sure. And it's like, if you can't be in the
Absolutely.
same room with each other, there might you might have to call the authorities or something like that. Cause you should be able to be in the same room with somebody and not feel like you're in danger.
Yeah, I didn't mean, sorry, I should have clarified. I'm just saying, sometimes your partner will be like, I have a bad feeling about this person, but it shouldn't be about their gender or whatever. Right. It can be they feel threatening for some reason. I mean, maybe they are hitting on you and that's worthwhile, of a discussion. Yeah. I acknowledge that that's true. But at the same time, I personally, for what this is worth, I'm in a heterosexual relationship with a man. I'm so thankful that Connor has female friendships. It's thank God when he hangs out with him, because I can't be his whole entire person and vice versa. It's we need other people from other walks of life. We need to be able to have different perspectives if we're going through something, different advice given, different support. It's so important for us to have that so that we have a healthy relationship. And these kind of really intense rules and lines that limit people's exposure, it's only going to make people bubble up and then act out or get angry. It's such a bad vibe.
Yeah, I think that's really pertinent, that idea of acting out, this kind of mentality, this kind of thinking, it's guilt-based and jealousy-based and fear-based. And oftentimes these are the kinds of things that actually do result in infidelity and actually do result in those kinds of the things that you're most afraid of, you're pushing each other towards, essentially, by being so restrictive, by being so oh, you can't be around another woman. That means that women are only sexual, and that's how he'll perceive them forever, because he's not allowed to even be around them. That's
totally, yes,
what's happening here.
And that's so unfair to the women as well. It's what? That's such a crazy projection. Same with viewing men as kind of predatory who want to get your girl. That's such a horrible thing to be pushing out in the world and perceiving people in those categories. It's really harmful, actually. And and outside of you guys are 24, you got married really young. I would say sometimes when this happens, not all the time, sometimes there's a bit of a stuntedness that can happen. I would just implore you to try to grow up together and have these hard conversations. And if you need to get some help to work through these feelings around jealousy, insecurity, whatever, trust, it's probably a pretty important thing to do if you want to stay married. Me saying
totally,
that?
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, totally. No.
Yeah.
You guys need some friends.
Because like you say, it's not going to get it's not going to get any less insular, right? It'll get only more and more and more as you get older. You need other relationships to lean on.
Yes.
It's hard to make friends when you get older. Right now, when you're in your 20s, this is where you make most of your friends. And then when you get into your 30s, I got to tell you, it's a lot different. You have to put in a lot more effort to make new friends. Yeah.
And there's always ways to make sure everyone's this is cool. There's no sneaky, it's I'm going to obviously introduce all my friends to my partner, and vice versa. And it's there's no hiding stuff, it's
be
none
careful
of that.
With secrets.
If
you're
you
hiding your phone, if you're not showing that you're texting, that kind of stuff, flag that in yourself.
Yeah. You're an open book. If you're not doing anything wrong, nothing wrong is going on. So you just have to kind of allow yourself to have that confidence too. You are not doing anything wrong by having this lovely lifelong friend who wants to be a part of you and your partner's life. That's so nice.
Yeah. Tough one.
It's a really tough one, because it's almost not even a question about we're almost not even answering the actual question. We're it's so much deeper than that, it feels like.
I know. We're
such
all absolutely,
issue.
We're so upset over here.
I'm so upset by this. I want to be your friend.
Try.
I'm not allowed to be your fucking friend. Am I a threat? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. And all this gender stuff and girls are like this and boys are like this. It is so genuinely harmful, and it does push us further apart. So any type of energy around that, I think we all need to be mindful of. Again, some people don't have good intentions, but it's not gender specific. Right. And girl friendships can have bad intent. You have to kind of be a lot more nuanced than that in order to navigate life together.
Whoa, true. I like that.
Yeah, man.
Nuanced. You got to be nuanced.
Not to bring it back to me and Letterkenny, but if I may, working on this show with predominantly a male cast, we went on tour together. We were in the tour bus. You guys are, most of the guys on the set are straight, and it kind of changed my perspective on male friendships, because I was also raised in a time when it's like, you should be friends with girls. And I love my female friendships, are very important to me. But like, I do feel like I have such a genuinely heartfelt family connection to you guys now that I will have for the rest of my life. And I would be so devastated if I felt like I wasn't allowed to have friendship intimacy with you guys just because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it would be so,
it's like a piece of your history
so hard
is erased almost, It's like if you were to eliminate those relationships.
Yeah.
Like, in our specific story, we grew up together these last 10 years. Like the idea of not being friends moving forward because someone gets into a partnership. It's like, well, we established our relationship first, right?
Yeah.
Some of the magic of this too is like when Alana talked about how much she likes Connor and how much she likes Emily, like your guys' partners. It's like such a warm feeling in my heart. I'm like, oh, my partner likes your partners. Like they all like each other. Like it's such a mutual, joyful celebration of like, oh, the people that I love have people that they love in their life. And my person can see that your person is also great.
Yeah.
Like that's such a nice feeling that I want for everyone to be able to see their friends with people who they deserve to be with. Like that's such a nice thing.
Oh yeah. And it's just like, it's the only way to have a healthy relationship that isn't just like an insular couple that is afraid of the world. And I will say one other thing too, if you're feeling jealousy or you're worried and you're kind of like, well, I don't want him alone with this person, you cannot control if somebody is going to cheat on you. You can't control it. You have no way of like navigating it or steering them in the wrong direction or the right direction. It is not on you. That is completely, put that out of your mind and just live your life by your ethics, and people are going to be who they're going to be. Like you have no control.
Whoa.
So.
Damn.
That's heavy.
But it is true.
It's spoken like somebody who has had to deal with the idea of like, that you have to take care of yourself.
Oh, I've been cheated on a lot. I'm just kidding.
That'd be a crazy revelation. Like a lot? Like I don't think that seems like
no, but I have been cheated on, and I'm kind of like, well, yeah. Like at first it feels so personal, but it's like there's not.
You feel like, what did I do wrong? What was I not offering, or what was I not giving that was?
For a split second, and then you go like, oh, actually, no. If somebody's going to do that, like they're a loser. So like, I don't know. It's just like, it's not on you, and you have no control over it. And there was nothing I could have done to prevent that happening. There's nothing you can do from, preventing your partner from being inappropriate or whatever. Like that's on them, and you get to just be the observer.
You're also allowed to feel, like, I think there's something important about, like, you're allowed to feel jealous. You're allowed to feel angry. You're allowed to feel all these feelings. It's what you do with the feeling of them. Because, like, you can't control how you feel. You will feel those ways if you feel those ways.
Yeah.
But it's how you react to the feeling, how you deal with those feelings, like whether or not you're, like, going to dwell in them or react with them, or you're going to be like, okay, well, why do I feel jealous? Like, let's figure that out. Like, what about it?
Yeah, and like talk to your partner about it.
Like, what's going on here?
It's kind of cute to be like, I'm feeling jealous. Anytime Connor has been like, I'm feeling like a little bit jealous, or vice versa, we're like, oh my God, cute, tender. Let's talk about it.
So when we started the podcast, right? When we started talking all the time?
He was like, Evan is so funny and cool, and he's
That's what I thought.
just like a really good dancer, and I just don't really know.
He heard the tone of my voice. He was like, "Oh, this guy's hot.
This guy's a threat." Yeah, well, God, I'm sending you guys so much love. 24, you're young. Know that these feelings, like Evan said, are so fair, but like you just have to remember that like life is long and you need so many other people, and you're allowed to have friends, and it doesn't make you a bad person.
No.
Yeah. Yay! We got it.
That's got it.
Okay, well, that was fun and also heated.
That was like kind of emotional.
Yeah, that was
like I was like, whoa, those are some questions that you just brought up. Like,
I know.
Yeah. We should charge $1,000 an hour, like,
like or not.
Or not.
Yeah.
Connor.
Connor also doesn't like his name being said in the podcast, so he takes it out every time. So every time you say Connor, it gets removed somehow. It's actually amazing.
But
I don't know how he does it.
But maybe he should keep it in because, like, maybe Connor really is. He is kind of another character in this podcast.
I agree,
he is fully.
But we can't control what Connor does with the edit. Like, Connor's
he
in
has
control.
Full power.
So he will just take it out.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, I listened to one episode in particular where I was talking about pissing. Like, Michelle had brought up that
Pissing.
One said that Australians like piss play, like to piss on each other more than other cultures, like other groups. And I joked about it for the entire podcast, like 7 or 8 times, like many times. When the podcast was released, not a word of it was in there. I was like, how did he do it?
Quality control.
Like,
Quality control. Yeah.
It's amazing.
No, literally.
Like, I don't know how he did it, but he like took out like so many little moments where I would just be like, and then you're just going to piss on her, right? Like, it was like, I would just keep saying it. I thought it was so funny. And it was, but obviously it didn't.
I don't think it'll make this podcast either.
I wonder.
I don't think so either. Especially because I brought up again the said it. Like,
I know. Well, I think that's what it was. And also just like painting all Australians being into piss feels unethical.
Dude, our 3rd most listened audience is Australians.
Nice.
Yeah. And we love you guys and we respect you guys. God,
we do. We respect you so much. And if you like to piss on each other, that's okay too.
Consensual pee.
Totally.
That's for sure.
It's consensual.
Do you know what our fourth biggest listeners are the UK, but our 5th is it's kind of surprising. Can you guess the 5th country that listens to us the most? And it's quite a big amount.
It's like summer in Scandinavia.
It's in Europe. It is in Europe.
Ireland?
Good guesses. Ireland's pretty high up there, but it's actually Germany.
Oh.
Because of how many expats are there. Germany has a huge expat population. And so we have like hundreds and hundreds of listeners in Germany.
I have 2 friends that live in Germany, and they listen. So shout out Jason and Aaron.
They're affecting the algorithm.
Maybe they're just listening.
Totally. They would. Oh, they're so supportive.
How many countries does Letterkenny air in now? Because I know it's sold to a couple other channels or countries. I don't even know.
They also sold the rights to create it in other countries. So not only does it air in other countries with subtitles and whatnot, they actually sold the rights to, I think there was a Brazilian purchase. There was a bunch of different places that were recasting entirely and doing like, oh, this one, they're not hockey players, they're soccer players. And that was a big sales.
Wow, that'll be crazy.
Many years back.
That'd be crazy to see.
If that ever happens. I don't know if it's materializing, but they sold them. They sold the rights, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I'd like to know what countries it's airing in. I'd be curious.
Pimping all over the world. Remember that?
Yeah, I do actually remember that. Oh my God, Michelle knows everything about music. It's
she's
crazy.
a big music head. She's a hip hop girl for sure.
She's a hip hop head. She's an old head.
Old
That's
head.
Michelle. That's what we call it.
I wouldn't call her that. No, I wouldn't.
Old head.
She doesn't even know what an old head is. And she keeps saying old head. Like it's a weird thing.
What is it?
That's what hip hop people call themselves when they've been listening to hip hop for a long time.
That's a term. That's too old for me.
I'm an old head.
Tyler
knows it because he was an old
Michelle and I are OGs. But
yeah, I know what that is. Tyler, we won't get into this too much, but I do want to just, you have a rap video. And maybe one day that will be something that we talk about at length.
I can't believe you're bringing this up.
We can talk about
maybe
it, but it'll never see the light of day.
That's not true. Someday after you're long gone and you've left everything to me in your will,
you're going to outlive me, buddy.
We're managing
have
the
your
estate.
laptop.
As if,
buddy, you know how safe I am. I'm just like I'm like the bubble boy. Okay, I'll live forever, and I'm gonna have your laptop, and I'm gonna just hit post like the second I can to every platform. It's one of the most graphic videos, like truly, like the things you guys say in that. It could have been a Letterkenny like sequence. Like you could have literally word for word put it in Letterkenny.
Yeah, it was something we did when I was 21 in Los Angeles with Jesse Rath and some pals. But yeah, it'll never see the light of day. I'm glad it never made it to YouTube. But we spit hot fire.
Do you think Jesse has a copy of it? Like if I were to like bribe Jesse?
Well, hey, Clem.
How desperate is Jesse Rath for money?
I don't think he's...
On a scale of 1 to 10.
he's going to be releasing it either.
No. He's worried for his career as well.
Can you say what it was called or no?
Ain't it fun to be me?
Oh, I thought it was called like titties bouncing on my face.
Ain't it fun to be me?
Ain't it fun to be me? Like, dick in your face.
Okay, well, hopefully one day this will
Trying to
see
make
the
this
light of
shit
day.
quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
this
Oh
shit
my
quick.
god, guys, it's actually so good. Harass
Okay, well,
Tyler
let's
on all
not
social
be-
media.
Okay, you're going to cut all this shit, right, buddy?
No, but my sweetie pie dog just walked in the room and she's absolutely devastated because it's 30 minutes past her dinner time.
Who's the go?
She's pissed.
Oh.
So,
Nanny needs dinner.
yeah, she needs her salmon kibble.
Delish.
Yeah. So Tyler, thank you so much for coming on. We love you.
you too.
You're so, all jokes
Talking to Michelle,
aside,
buddy. Michelle
you
and
are
I talking.
so,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad.
yeah, just kind of
The
give
adults are
us
talking.
give us a
Why
second.
don't you go 5'6" somewhere
Yeah.
else? No, go ahead, Michelle. You're saying nice
But
things.
Tyler, you were so incredibly talented in general, like as an actor, but what you did with Stewart on this show is like insane. I feel like, I know you've received credit, but you should have been winning all the awards all the time. Like you're so good. And I'm just like ever shocked at how crazy this role is.
Yeah, it was really crazy. It was really crazy, and I think you guys are going to see a lot of crazy stuff over the next 75 episodes or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
I will be forever grateful for this show. It was, you know, what we do, 82 episodes, 10 years, toured America, met some amazing friends, and you know, I got to embarrass myself every single day. So, you know, not many jobs you get to do that, and they ask you to come back. Evan, you want to say something? You got this smirk on your face. That's just
I love you. I think you're such a talented actor, and it was an honor to act with you for those 10 years.
Wow.
I'm not going anywhere, right? Like you guys aren't.
We're going to kill you after the
Well,
show.
yeah.
Last time we're ever going to talk.
Like I said, we have to get that rap video somehow.
No, I love you guys. I hope I can come back all the time and be
Yes,
the spare
definitely.
parts here with you guys. You guys know how I feel about you, and I miss you guys, man.
No, we don't actually.
You're not getting those letters? I've written you so many letters. Canada Post is on strike.
Connor's just
the
tearing
strike.
them up.
It's the strike. I've only got so many ears I can
Be
cut off.
friends with
boy.
Tyler.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We love you. This has been such a fun episode. We chatted for a long time.
Yeah,
and
I forget that we're doing a podcast
Yeah, this is
sometimes.
great.
So.
It's
I know.
great. We're going to
I
have
love
some
it.
great stuff to cut out because there's no way we can talk about some of that
Yeah.
stuff. But it was such a fun time having you.
It was a
and
blast.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
Love you
can't wait
guys.
to see you on the live tour when we get to do this in person
Yeah.
someday.
That'd be so fun. And
Get
for
you on
everybody
stage.
listening, thank you for being here. Thank you for writing in. Again, rate, review, follow us on Spare Parts Instagram. And then we just started a TikTok as well, Spare Parts Podcast on TikTok.
Hell
so
yeah.
check us out there.
Boom, baby.
Love ya. Miss ya. Bye.
We can't do that at the end of every episode.
Yes, we can.
Oh boy.